You are not even ready for today's story. Okay, ladies and germs, because this couple made 6 figures from their wedding, on their wedding. I don't even know how to feel about that. By charging their guests. Listen, I'll be the first to tell you that wedding planning can be extremely expensive, but I will also be the first to tell you that it doesn't have to be. That's why I created this whole program called the Master Plan, where I walk you through how to plan your weddings. I've been doing this for almost a full decade. We're about to hit my 10th anniversary here in a few months. I'd like to think I know what I'm talking about at this point, okay? So I understand that wedding planning can be extremely expensive, but who knew it could also be extremely lucrative? You know, maybe I'll just ditch my career as a wedding planner and just keep getting married over and over again. About a month ago, 2 content creators / entrepreneurs named Steve Larson and Marley Jax, with 2 X's, that's important, had their wedding at a cutie little farm in Idaho. Now, both of them are entrepreneurs, and I had never heard of them before this point. Pretty sure it was my dad who sent me this article from People or whatever. I'd never heard of them, seen them, heard of this experience, etc., until this article plopped into my inbox. And I certainly have feelings about this, and you most assuredly will as well. So get your fingers ready, because that comment section's about to be rife with commentary. Okay, so without further ado, let's just jump right on into it. Need to know, okay? Couple important points from the top. Entrepreneurs Marley Jax and Steve J. Larson sold tickets to their wedding weekend in Idaho as a case study. A proof of concept that weddings can be funded, not financed. Guests could buy a basic $57 ticket for admission into the wedding day, or a 3-day experience for 2 tickets valued at $997 that allowed access to the wedding day plus pre- and post-wedding events. After the couple broke even, they donated their remaining $132,550 proceeds to Village Impact. Ooh, did I mention they were donating that money? I sure didn't. Now you don't know whether to love them or hate them, don't you? Just kidding. We're going to reserve judgment because we don't know them personally. We're reading this off of a People magazine article, okay? A bride and groom are trying to revolutionize the wedding industry, and they started by charging admission to their own nuptials. Entrepreneurs Marley Jax, 34, and Steve J. Larson, 37, were baffled by the overpriced traditional wedding planning model that often breaks the bank due to the outrageous cost attached to the smallest things. Oh, clearly they don't watch my channel. Which, by the way, you should subscribe if you want to figure out how to plan your wedding really effectively and for a really great cost, and not break the bank, but also still have a killer wedding. Okay, thank you. Consequently, the pair decided to create a case study on their wedding by selling tickets to prove that weddings can be funded so that marriages start without financial strain. Or, hear me out, we ratchet back some of those costs and we spend less so we could also start off without financial strain. But then again, they also donated a lot of money. Okay, so I don't, let's just see what I mean. I'm conflicted. I have feelings, but I am conflicted. Weddings are this multi-billion-dollar industry where couples often go into debt for a single day, and I wanted to challenge that, Jax tells People. Okay, cuties, they're really cute. Okay, listen. There were 2 ticket tiers. A basic ticket valued at $57 a person covered admission to the wedding ceremony reception on Friday, August 1st at Honolulu Farm in Eagle, Idaho. Those wanting to make a full wedding weekend of the event would purchase the second option valued at $997 for 2 tickets, which additionally included access to the rehearsal dinner on Thursday, July 31st, and the biohacking brunch and recovery lounge on Saturday, August 2nd. Plus, the VIP guests would get priority reserved seating and have their brand profile spotlighted in the wedding programs. Sorry. Okay. Why didn't I hear about this before? I missed out on a great opportunity to have my profile spotlighted. And not to mention the biohacking. For the record, I am both an entrepreneur and a crunchy/crunchy adjacent person, but hearing it written out like this is just, it's too much. Oh, I know this idea is new. It's disruptive, Jack says. It's something. Some people might call it tacky or a money grab, but to me, a cash grab is something done purely for profit with little regard for value or integrity. That's not what this is. We're creating an experience to celebrate our wedding with people who want to be a part of it, and the contributions go directly toward making that possible without going into debt while also supporting one of our favorite causes. Ooh, that's where they get you, as we keep coming back to the fact that we're supporting a cause with this. But also then wouldn't this money be a charitable contribution, much like a gala or a fundraising event would be, that you would then receive some sort of tax refund situation for this, right? Like, if that's what this is, I've never run an event like this, so I can't exactly tell you, although I have worked with a venue that used to have their 501c3 and then let it lapse, but didn't remove it from their website. Mm-hmm. Before the couple got engaged at an ice skating rink on New Year's Day, so cute, they joked about selling wedding tickets. But once the duo, who have both previously been married, actually started planning their wedding, their joke turned into a reality. Okay, so they both already done this before, so it's not like it's a brand new experience, right? So this whole like shock and awe of like the wedding industry is out to get, we've already done this, right? So that shouldn't be brand new information unless it was way earlier, way more previously. But even 10 years ago, the wedding industry was considered a luxury or a lavish sort of thing. And you really had to get creative to work outside the box to get that figured out. So, I mean, they don't look that old to me. They look great. So I'm confused why this is a fresh, brand new experience. We run businesses and do events all the time. So we'd say things like, wouldn't it be funny if our wedding was a main event and we sold tickets to it? Totally a joke at first, Jack says. But then we got engaged, and when we started looking at venues and saw the quote for one, there was a $650 cake cutting fee, like just to cut the cake. Not the cake itself, just to cut it. There are some places that do this. Now, I understand that venues probably have some sort of reasoning behind this, but a $650 cake cutting fee, in my opinion, is also ludicrous. So I'm not against the couple at this point. I get it. But if it were me, instead of paying a $650 cake cutting fee, I would get a dessert bar where everything is mini or individual serving size, and you don't have to cut anything. And that way you take the $650 and you put it towards your dessert, and then no one's cutting nothing. Boom, I just saved you $650 regardless of your location. You're welcome. This is why you need to subscribe and join the master plan. Jax asked her thousands of followers if the financial investment and expectations attached to weddings added pressure to spend more than anticipated to meet the traditional standards. Her comments were flooded, this is in quotes, with couples sharing similar experience of wild wedding markups. So then I made another post and said, people should just sell tickets to their weddings at this point, Jax explains. She took a poll within her social community about turning her wedding into a proof of concept and was shocked by people's openness to buying tickets and the high figures they'd hypothetically be willing to spend. Okay, wait, so what I need to know is, was this extended to your audience? Was it just family members and friends that you were charging? Or was it audience members that you were charging that could come be a part of your event? Like, who was the pool from which we are drawing? Okay, now I want to jump onto her Instagram and figure out. Okay, so she's got just under 22,000 followers on Instagram, 170K on YouTube. Congratulations, ma'am. That is a big deal. And she's listed herself as an entrepreneur. I build business by breaking rules. Wait. There's a wedding day highlight. Should we? Okay. Venue. Gorgeous. We got faux florals on the hoop. It's giving something borrowed bloom, so I'm wondering if there was a collab there, but there's no tag. So they might have done artificial flowers themselves. Okay, VIP guests are starting to arrive. These are the ones that paid extra to be there. There's like a banner behind the groom. Hold on. Are those dang? Sorry. I'm a huge fan of this, okay? I got lipstick on my teeth, guys. Why didn't anybody tell me? I encourage couples to do something akin to this, to like get Costco platters and repurpose them in a way that's a little bit more artful, a little bit more visually entertaining, right? Because then it's a great way to have like a variety of like snacky bits for cocktail hour, etc., while simultaneously maintaining a budget. And it seems as though they did that. Look. It's literally a Costco veggie tray right next to a little cheese tray. And there's the fruit and some random tortilla chips. Okay, good. We got a salsa bar. Plenty of snack options. What is this? Is that like a queso? That's a queso. We don't really have super high-end chairs here. So what I'm not seeing so far is I'm not seeing a lot of frivolous spending, okay? So that was one of my thoughts, is how much of this are we using to fund the wedding and then pay the excess afterwards? I promise we'll get back to the article in just a minute, but like I didn't realize this was here. So we need to go on this journey together, okay? I love whippersnappers. What is this? He's in a t-shirt. This definitely is giving $1,000 VIP experience. Dole Soft Serve in Boise, Idaho. Okay, we do love soft serve. It's very tropical feeling. It doesn't really feel on brand with the rest of the wedding, but if I were a betting woman, I would guess that this company offered to do it for free or a deeply discounted rate in exchange for a shout out because they're promoting this as a pay to attend event. But of course, we don't have any sort of indication of that. I'm just going off vibes. Oh, there's a merch table. Okay. Oh, there's a red carpet with an iHeartRadio step and repeat. with the velvet ropes, and they're interviewing people as they come in. This is interesting. Photopop photo booth. Again, wondering if this is a trade. Another ice cream option. Stella's Ice Cream North Meridian. Okay, again, cute. But don't really love the blue pop-up. Again, this is not serving luxury event. We are giving the guest options, which is kind of fun. Mugshots and Coffee Pots trailer. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and click through a lot of these because now we're at the actual wedding. Lots of family photos saved on this highlight, or maybe not family photos, maybe VIPs, okay? So they got their own specific photo. No tagged shout out, just photos. Is that... There's PR on the tables and merch. Okay, they are indeed stepping outside the box. Okay, we got an entrepreneurial spirit. This honestly doesn't feel like a wedding when I'm looking at these images. This definitely feels more like a fundraiser, which is exactly what it was. They just happened to get married at it. Steve and Marley's wedding, more swag. We've got koozies, we've got hats or shirts or something. Oh, it's like a whole booklet. It's like a whole booklet pamphlet for their wedding. Okay, I want to see the highlighted people who paid lots of money to be there. Oh, here it is, including their Instagram handles. That's great. Which, to be fair, I'm definitely that girly when I'm watching a TV show and I want to know if that actor is married. I'll go find them on IMDb or Wikipedia or something, and then I'll want to go look them up on Instagram to see if they're in fact married to that person or post ever, or if they have any children. And then I'll scroll through their feed for a little bit. So there is something mighty convenient about that for a girly like me who loves to just kind of like poke around on the interwebs and just learn more about people's lives. I love this. Love this for me. Makes it a lot easier. I wouldn't do it at my wedding personally, but my investigative nature would certainly be thrilled. Dinner looks decent. Goodwood barbecue. Again, we've got a little bit of an ad moment here for them where they've got like a sign with their logo and their phone number on it if you want to follow up them. So it seems like we've got a lot of heavy advertising happening here, both on stories and actually on the big day, and lots of pop-up tents. Is this guy famous or something? Yep, that's it. I didn't know who Russell Brunson was. And so I was like, he keeps getting tagged. What's happening? Is he famous? Yep. Helping entrepreneurs build their online businesses. Okay, but hold on. This gal keeps popping up too. Who is she? The one in the blue dress. She was not tagged in her second photo. Okay. Talking about the amazingly talented Michelle Sohan, the cake artist. Again, probably gave them a discount, if not something for free. Look at this cake. This is giving ad. There is no theming to this wedding at all whatsoever. They successfully raised a total of $96,000 for the cause, complete with big check, okay? Giant check that they were able to write in with Expo Marker day of so they could really calculate how much. Oh, they didn't make the 100,000 day of, okay? They didn't do it. An unforgettable night. I'm so glad I went and looked at that. Again, I'm not intending to judge them as people. This is a very interesting concept. We still got more of the article to get back to. I have done weddings for celebrities. I've done weddings that have work in exchange for advertising. I've worked with events where it was the owners of the venue that were getting married there and asked people to give them a discount in exchange for being a recommended vendor at their wedding venue, only to have the wedding venue shut down 3 months later because they didn't have proper permitting. I've seen these things happen. I've seen vendors go out of their way to give discounts in hopes of being featured, in hopes that it could potentially change their career or offer them a really good impact. And honestly, very rarely have I seen a high ROI on situations like that. Not saying that's impossible, not saying that it can't work. It's just, it is an interesting method that I don't necessarily align with. So when we go back to, she took a poll with her social community about turning her wedding into a proof of concept and was shocked by people's openness to buying tickets and the high figures they'd hypothetically be willing to spend. That's when you run an entrepreneurial business account and you suggest doing an entrepreneurial test, you're gonna get a lot of people that think it's a really good idea. Eventually, we landed on this idea that felt really good to us. Don't buy us a gift, just cover your meal and come party with us, Larson says. It took the pressure off gifts, helped us to manage the guest count, and made the whole thing feel a lot more fun and collaborative. This is where I become morally a little stuck. Because how many times have we talked about on this channel? The unwritten rule or the golden rule that you should buy a gift that's equal to the cost of your meal. Now, most of us don't really say that part out loud, but historically speaking, that's been an unspoken rule to follow. So I get where the couple's coming from in this. Instead of paying $57 for barbecue, we will cover the barbecue for you and then offer entertainment. Although there were a lot of positive responses, some people weren't happy. The couple's family and closest friends didn't need to buy tickets and were just sent wedding invitations. Okay, good. But it still doesn't answer the question, did you invite your audience to attend your wedding? Because I feel like that changes some things for me. Anyways, everyone else, however, had to decide whether or not they wanted to pay to attend the wedding when they saw the concept online. One man didn't hold back in telling the bride that he was against the idea and even challenged her to a Facebook Live debate. Not a Facebook Live debate. Oh, that's where you really go to throw down. Facebook Live. For sure. Jax accepted the debate because she thought if she really believed in this idea, she had to be willing to defend it. I wish I could have seen that. That would have been fascinating. That would have been fascinating. I wanted to bring weddings back to this idea that it takes a village to show that there could be a different model where couples don't have to go into debt. Jack says, with Larson adding, it wasn't about making money, it was about covering the cost of their meal and creating a really cool experience. For couples who do want to bring together a big community, the current system often sets them up for failure. I mean, financial conflict is the number one cause of strain in marriage. So the idea that you should start your life together by going tens of thousands of dollars into debt over one day feels backwards. This has come as no surprise to those of you that have been around for a minute, but I wholeheartedly agree. Jackson Larson, who met through the online marketing world and have been in a relationship for 5 years, tell people that they sold approximately 100 basic tickets and 30 VIP tickets. Wait a minute. Okay, let's do some quick math. 100 basic tickets comes out to $5,700. 30 VIP tickets comes out to $29,910. That would bring their total money they brought in $35,610, which meant they did external or continued fundraising at the event to bring in an additional $60,000+. So we don't know if there's like someone constantly talking on the microphone asking for more donation. We don't know if they're live streaming this, trying to get more people to donate. But how on earth did we go from, charging our guests a certain amount of money made us about 6 figures to just kidding, it only made us $35,000 and we got the rest of it elsewhere. Where did the other 60K come from? Did the vendors pay to show up? Like, did they say, not only will I donate this food or my services, but I'll also pay to be advertised at your wedding? I have so many questions. Okay, the couple determined their basic ticket pricing on the typical per cost of a wedding guest. Most people would spend more than that on a dinner, a concert ticket, or a random night out. So asking $57 to cover your meal and be a part of an experience like this felt reasonable. Larson says, it also made it easy to take the pressure off gifts entirely. Or you could just say, no gifts. No, thank you. We're okay. At the over-the-top wedding, where is the over-the-top wedding in the room with us? Which was planned by Lisa Ball, who is tagged. Wait a minute. Hold the phone. I just looked up the wedding plan. Hold on. There was a website for the wedding. Hold on. I just looked at the wedding planner. Crash the party with StephenMarley.com. You're invited to our wedding. The party may be over, but we're still accepting donations. Every dollar goes directly to Village Impact, and we'll be traveling with them to Kenya in January 2026. For more information, or if you'd like to join us on this life-changing trip, click here. After this, we'll be teaching the whole model to other couples through weddingfunnels.com. Shut up! I'm sweating! Okay, wait, hold on. Let's just keep reading the article. We got to get through this, okay? At the over-the-top wedding, which was planned by Lisa Ball, guests enjoyed smoked salted caramel ice cream from Stella's Ice Cream, wedding cake from luxury cake artist Michelle Sohan, and cookies from Mama's Secret. Musical performances included dancing trombonist Jonathan Aarons, husband-wife DJ Team Ragosa, and DJ Dynamics, spelled with an X. That's important, and they're all linked. They're all tagged. The VIP ticket was all about upgrading the experience. VIP guests enjoyed a 3-day celebration featuring brand exposure, an exclusive experience such as sessions from relationship and health experts. I'm so sorry. At The biohacking brunch after the wedding, guests were treated to breathwork, brain optimization tools, vibration plates, PMF mats, and red light therapy. Listen. I really, really want to buy a red light for red light therapy. Okay, that's where I'm at emotionally, but not where I'm at financially. But for me, I think it's the sessions with the relationship and health experts that really got me. We hit break even. That was the goal. Okay. We weren't trying to profit off our wedding. We just didn't want to go into debt for it. And everything beyond that now goes toward the charity piece, which is the part we're most excited about. Proceeds beyond breaking even on the actual wedding itself are being donated to Village Impact to help build a school and support initiatives like access to clean water and menstrual products. The nonprofit organization partners with communities in Kenya to create access to quality education where it's needed most, according to its website. We went home on our wedding night with 96,200 reasons to be grateful because we were able to write a check for that amount to Village Impact, Jack says. And then the next morning during our biohacking brunch, we raised even more, bringing our total to $132,550. Okay. That's where the rest of the money came in. Again, I have so many questions. Are we crowdsourcing this from the people that are there? Like, are we live streaming this? How are we getting more money to come in? I am so... The funds came from the ticket sales, silent auction, and different donation tiers throughout the weekend. I should have just kept reading. That money's going to build classrooms in Kenya, support clean water initiatives, and provide essential resources for kids who need them most, Jax explains. July 2026, we're headed to Kenya. Really? It said January here. Okay, whatever. Don't get hung up on that detail. With a crew of people to help build the very project we funded. The newlyweds hope that couples will use their step-by-step wedding blueprint to turn their wedding into a celebration that funds itself instead of draining savings. They're teaching the model to other couples through weddingfunnels.com. The goal is to help couples fund their weddings creatively, whether that's through selling tickets, collaborating with local businesses, trading services, getting sponsors, or earning affiliate revenue through the content. I pray that what we just experienced becomes a blueprint for others, that this disrupts the way people think weddings have to be done, Jack says. The other couples see this as an invitation to step into more freedom, financially, emotionally, and relationally. Weddings don't need to be a source of debt or pressure. They can be something radically different that is generous, sacred, and shared. Okay, we are going to go to the comments. We're going to go to the comments, but we've been at this for a minute, and I just need to, this was a fundraiser that somebody got married at. Okay. And at the end of the day, seeing a big check is really, really cool. I would not make these same decisions personally. I think I need to put the weddingfunnels.com thing aside for just a moment. And just to say, I think that something like this can be quite a slippery slope. I think that unless you're really clear and you're very transparent and public with how these finances are being used. Okay, I had to ask chat real quick. If you're throwing a fundraiser for a nonprofit organization, are you legally required to show those who donate what you are doing with the funds? Here's how this usually works in the US. No, you aren't typically required to show each donor exactly how their specific dollars were spent. Donors usually don't get a line item accounting of their contribution. But yes, nonprofits are legally required to be transparent about finances overall. Legally, you don't owe donors an itemized breakdown of their individual gifts, but you must keep transparent records, stay compliant with reporting laws, and honor donor intent. But for me personally, I think this is a slippery slope when it comes to, nonprofits and donations and being really crystal clear about where that money is going and how fundraisers are run in general. I think that this is not the groundbreaking concept that perhaps they think it is. I personally would not make this choice myself. And I don't see this being a really big, really groundbreaking sort of thing, simply because in essence, I kind of side with the guy that said it was tacky. I don't love it. It's not for me. If someone else wants to do it, so be it. And it's something that I would very likely not replicate, nor would I be 100% comfortable being a part of and/or planning. Not saying that I'd be against it. It feels gray, It feels gray, especially when I look at this and I can tell from both being a content creator and an influencer online and a wedding planner that probably a lot of these vendors likely donated their time and their products in order to be featured at this event for the sole purpose of getting in front of more eyeballs and hoping that it brings them more business. The only reason I'm painfully aware that that's typically not a very good ROI is because I've been through it myself and I've watched other vendors go through it as well. So it always sounds like a good idea until you go through with it and then you realize you very likely will get little to no business from something like this. Where I take issue with it, though, is the idea of continuing this forward with an online platform like weddingfunnels.com. Simply because it is very great. Hold on. This whole page reads like our sales page does for the master plan. It just does. Here's what you're signing up for. Okay, wait, hold on. Because they're going to use this as their model for other people to use for wedding funnels and crowdfunding moving forward. Here's what you're signing up for. Oh, ceremony that matters and a familiar face officiating. 2 people saying I do, a moment filled with actual meaning, not just staged for Instagram. Someone you may recognize running the show. Why is that in bold? Who? That's a surprise. But it won't be your average small town efficient reading from a crumpled piece of paper. That's rude. Second, a feast fit for celebration, not just wedding food. We're talking actual delicious hand-selected food that you'll be excited to eat. No dry chicken, no mystery sauce, no sad side salad. Maybe some Costco cauliflower, though. You know, only 2 trays away from the Costco pineapple. Okay, an epic party, not a forced YMCA moment. Expect music, dancing, and things you'll actually remember the next day. Yeah, like being asked to donate multiple times. Think less awkward small talk with your cousins +1 and more legendary night with incredible people. A networking hack disguised as a wedding. There it is. The guest list, elite. The conversations, next level. The connections, possibly life-changing. You might just leave with a new best friend, business partner, or someone who introduces you to the next big thing in your life. There it is. An experience, not a gift registry. We don't need another toaster. We just want you there. And your money. Something that's never been done before until now. I don't know. Reddit would beg to differ with you because there's a lot of people asking for money for their weddings. They just haven't donated it. This wedding is going to be the start of a movement that's about to shake up an entire industry, and you get to say, I was there when it all started. Okay, I'm feeling some kind of way, but we got to wrap this up, so I'm going to jump to the comments. They're not guests at that point. They're ticket holders. Guests don't pay for anything. True. You are no longer hosting an event for guests. You are running a fundraiser for ticket holders. Sad to see People magazine continuing to push this ad, posing as a news story. In case one didn't notice, this ad lists the website where the couple can make money off their idea. No one but wealthy people would ever think of this as an option. The true answer is to simply not spend as much. Knowing they did the right thing with the remainder, my blood pressure has gone down. I do feel a little bit, if we're assuming that they did with the money that they said they were going to do with the money, My feelings are definitely more muted on this in general. Again, I would not do this. I think it creates a slippery slope. I don't know how this will pan out from an entrepreneurial perspective, especially when other couples don't have famous guests there to entertain the rest of their guests and to give TED Talks and red light therapy. They say they donated any extra money. Given now they played fast and loose with reporting the money taken in and the amounts charged, and there was clear profit motive. The website for the new business is part of the article. How could one trust anything they say? Well, I don't think that logic all follows together. You say, oh, we gave excess money to charity. That's great, but what you really did was plan your over-the-top wedding and have strangers pay for it. No wonder some of your family were skeptical. They had to share your special day with random people who bought a ticket to the party. My guess is the entertainment was lit. And it did look like they had quite a lot of treats and a lot of options to select from. So that part is fun, especially if you like sweets. And given what they do for a living, it did probably provide some sort of networking opportunity. But could you imagine for a moment, just a moment, being a cousin and being like, what is this? Who are these people? Why am I getting a koozie that says this? You guys are giving away like a whole bag of cookies? I'm not mad, but wait, there's a QR code. What is happening? Why is someone talking to me about generational wealth? And why is that tent glowing red? I'm really confused. Why am I here? This is a lot. Okay, I'm going to go home now. No need to go into debt to get married if one stays within their means. Similar to a marriage where we don't spend more than we make. Just saying. The couple has 100% control of the cost of the wedding. The article said tens of thousands in debt for a wedding, and what a stressor that is on a marriage. What? I'm speechless. Hot take. I do think that you are in charge of how much you spend on your wedding, and if you see a price tag that you don't like, don't pay for it. But that tends to be seen as unpopular. I would simply decline the invite. Nice that they donated the excess, but most couples would not. I don't know about most. I think some would, but most couples don't have this entrepreneurial mindset, don't have these level of friends, and don't have that level of administrative energy. Wedding planning in general is already exhausting. Imagine trying to negotiate sponsorship contracts on top of all of that. Yeah, if you give us a $500 discount, we'll be sure to shout you out 3 times on my Instagram that has 500 followers. Don't worry, it's everyone that's in your target demographic. They didn't break even. They made a profit, which they donated to a charity of their choice. That was nice, but it wasn't breaking even. I could see paying $60 approximately to attend a wedding. Is that per person or per couple? Per person. It would be instead of a wedding gift, so less shopping I have to do. The 3-day event sounds awful though. No, thank you. Yeah, that was really more of like a pitch to their audience that we can see by the sales page that's still up and still listed. Anyways, I got to hand it to Doug on this one. That was a gem of a find. That was a lot. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? We, instead of doing favors at our wedding, made a donation to a local recording studio in our area that was being built out at the time because they were offering opportunities for up and coming artists to go in and record and lay down some tracks. That made it astronomically more feasible for them to do so because financially they wouldn't be able to afford to do it otherwise. Music's always been near and dear to my heart. And so that was really important, really special that we got to do that. We didn't ask for any donations for that. I forgot to make a sign that said in lieu of favors, we donated to this, but we did. That's something that we chose to do with our wedding. And I get that. I get that people do make donations. That's why I think personally this is very nuanced. Obviously on paper it worked out for this couple. If they did in fact make this donation, we're gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they did. And $130,000+ that they were able to donate to such a wonderful cause, that's incredible. And that's probably more than I will ever be able to donate to any cause in my entire lifetime. Would I personally go about procuring the donations in that same manner? Probably not. But what do I know? I'm just a silly little wedding planner on the internet who likes to give your opinion on wedding pop culture things from time to time. So that's what we have for today's video, guys. Thank you for stopping by. If you haven't done so already, jump on down and hit the like button if you like the video and subscribe to this channel for more tips and tricks for the modern day bride. And until next week, bye guys.